Hi everyone, my name is Leona. I'm a full-time dancer and dance teacher currently living in Bangalore. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you're going to choreograph a routine. If you're struggling with the process, then I think this video could really help you. So yeah, let's get started. So step one, research. Now I knew that I wanted to do an Independence Day act, right? So I conducted 2 rounds of research. First, I went to YouTube and I typed Independence Day acts by kids, by children in schools. So I had an idea of what is achievable in terms of children, like what they can actually do. And my second round was Independence Day acts by professional dancers or in any sort of reality show, dance reality shows basically. Yeah, so once I had both of these visions in mind, I checked out all these routines. Then I kind of started picking out things that I liked here and there. I like certain concepts, I like certain songs that were used, I like certain formations or steps. And then once I had all these pieces in mind, I knew what I wanted to do. I kind of got an idea. And I think one thing that's really important that when you're researching is that you need to start selecting pieces that actually make sense. And what I mean by that is you need to see if your kids can actually do it. You know, you can't be having unrealistic expectations of what can be achieved by children and their skill level. Yeah, so I knew I was going to deal with kids from the third grade up until the seventh grade. So it's a mix, right? The seventh graders can probably do things that are a little more difficult, but the ones in like third or fourth might not be able to do it. So I had to make sure the choreography is balanced, but it also has enough elements of surprise that could kind of bring the entire act together. So yeah, first research all levels, and then start picking out things that are actually relevant to your dancers and to your act. Step 2, fix on an idea. Okay, now after I completed my research, I had a lot of things in my mind, but I decided to fix on one idea, which was celebrating the culture of India because of the sacrifices of our freedom fighters. Now, the reason why I drew it out so long is because I did not want to fixate on the freedom fighters per se and their struggle. 2 reasons. One, because it was already being done by children, in a fancy dress, because they were already dressing up as that. And second, I wanted it to be a little lively. I wanted the act to be more vibrant. So I did not want to kind of bring that narrative in. And I could also get a lot of participation from multiple students. I didn't have to just limit myself to like 6 to 8 dancers. I actually went on to like 24 dancers. So that kind of encourages a lot of participation from many students, and I think parents really appreciate that. So probably whenever you're kind of putting together such an act, try to see if you could get a lot of participation, or else it's fine. This is just a side note, but at the end of the day, just lock in your idea as soon as you're done researching. Step 3 is visualization. You need to start putting all your concepts, all your research, all of it together in a rough idea as to what you would want your routine to look like. Now, when you are doing this, you need to make sure you know what your entry and exit is going to look like. You need to know how many dancers you would want for this routine to be executed the way you want it to be. How many dancers, that is one. And then your costumes, what visual elements are you going to play with in terms of colors, and how comfortable is it going to be for your students to dance in them, right? Then if you need props, if you need to start preparing them, start making them now only, or you need to rent them out. Yeah, and then you need to check the stage. Is it an outdoor event, is it an indoor event, how big or small is your stage, because that also plays a big role in creating your routine, right? Because you need to start practicing your formations in the right space, or else it could be a little tricky for the kids to kind of adapt. So yeah, when you're visualizing, make sure you have all these things roughly planned out, so when you go to the next step of actually like choreographing and putting things together, you know kind of what you want, and then you can kind of switch things out a bit when you are actually doing the choreography. Step 4, song selection and editing. Now this can be really frustrating, but luckily you've already done your research, so you already have an idea of what kind of songs we used, so you could probably get some inspiration from there as well. and you can finalize your songs. If you need to do a little more research to find your songs, then do that, but make sure you're editing it at this stage, because the more you prolong it, the worse it's going to get for you, because your students need to start practicing with the correct timestamps. And if you space out things properly, you can also address later on. So you need to at least have a rough draft of your song edit at an estimate time. It could be a 4-minute act, it could be an 8-minute act, you never know, right? So make sure you put that in and get your final track done. Either you do it or do it professionally. So I use this sound editor regular app. I have the paid version of it, so it allows like a multi-track editing option. But yeah, I think there are a lot of free apps available as well. So make sure you get it edited and you start choreographing after that. Step 5, your final step, is you actually start choreographing. Now you do it with your kids present, or you choreograph the routine already and then just go teach them. That's up to you how you work better. But yeah, this should be a little easier because you already have an idea of what you want to do in certain sections or in certain songs. All you need to do is just match that with the skill level of your students. So yeah, you can just start there. And I think my number one tip would be, let the music speak to you, because the more we overthink it and the more we try to catch all the nuances, sometimes we get lost in the game, you know. So initially keep it simple, keep like a base skeleton step that, you know, fits the rhythm of the music and that looks clean and which allows good synchronization. You know, keep that as a base, and then if you want to play on any other nuances in terms of musicality, then you can kind of add those elements later. But make sure you have a base step ready. Let the music speak to you, don't overcomplicate it, and yeah, just have fun with it. Whatever your gut, whatever your instincts, whatever your creative instincts are telling you, follow that, because the more you ignore it, you're just gonna get in this really bad loop of not understanding what step to put and what step not to put. So yeah, do your final step, go on with your practices, make sure there's good synchronization, they're on beat, good expressions. Make sure they practice with expressions, because then it just it kind of falls flat, the routine on stage. So make sure they're practicing already. Now that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, drop a little comment, and you can always message me personally if you like something and you need some help. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.